In a team overflowing with star power, sometimes brilliance gets overlooked. While names like Vinícius Júnior, Jude Bellingham and Kylian Mbappé dominate the headlines, there's one player who quietly delivers. That is Rodrygo. Despite decisive performances and a unique skill set, Rodrygo often finds himself in the shadows. But is it time we started appreciating the silent engine behind Real Madrid's attacking machine? Since arriving at Real Madrid, Rodrygo has played across multiple attacking roles. He's used on both wings, behind the striker, and even as a false nine. His tactical flexibility has made him invaluable to managers like Zidane and Ancelotti, not as the protagonist, but as the facilitator. In high-stake Champions League ties, Rodrygo has delivered, most notably his unforgettable late goals against Manchester City. While others shine in the spotlight, Rodrygo makes things happen from the shadows. Despite this, there is the air of feeling like the odd one out, with Vini Júnior and Kylian Mbappé occupying both left and central positions. Rodrygo has had to constantly adapt, often sacrificing his preferred positioning for the good of the team. Even with 13 goals and 10 assists at the time of this video, in all competitions this season, he's still been rotated, benched or played out of position. And we're at a point now where we don't really know what his best position actually is. Media narratives, club branding and even tactical structures tend to position Rodrygo as a complement, not a centerpiece. According to the Daily Mail, the Brazilian is beginning to feel the weight of that shadow. He wants to play regularly, centrally and with trust, not to be rotated in to make space for bigger names. But is it just media perception, or is his brilliance being genuinely overlooked? Rodrygo is not just a winger, he's a tactical chameleon. On paper, he's listed as a right winger, but in practice, he's everywhere. In Carlo Ancelotti's system, Rodrygo has played across the front three, and even occasionally behind the striker. So what makes him so valuable is his versatility and his intelligence. Rodrygo is someone who excels in positional awareness and off-the-ball movement. He drifts into half spaces, receives between the lines and links play with one-touch combinations. Unlike traditional wingers, Rodrygo isn't reliant on pace or flashy stepovers. He plays with rhythm and intention. His goal output may not be eye-popping like Mbappe's or Mohamed Salah, but the timings of his goals often are. Think Champions League semis, late winners, clutch finishes under pressure. He scores when it matters. We can see he's in the top percentile among wingers for progressive passes received and carries into the box. His defensive work rate is underrated too, pressing intelligently, doubling up with fullbacks and forcing turnovers high up the pitch. And then there's the raw technique. His first touch is velvet. His shooting from the right flank is instinctive, often aimed across the keeper or curled into the far post. He's also a deceptively good passer in tight spaces, capable of playing intricate through balls or switching play when needed. In short, Rodrygo is the glue that binds Madrid's chaos and creativity. With Mbappe, of course, joining Real Madrid in the summer, joining Vinícius Júnior, Jude Bellingham, and the rest of the superstars in the team, Real Madrid's front line especially is getting dangerously crowded. If Rodrygo is to become the player he can be, a leader, a Ballon d'Or potential candidate, he might have to look elsewhere. But where could he go? So he could potentially go to an Arsenal. There have been links to Mikel Arteta's Gunners side. Where would he play would be the number one question, as they have already got Bukayo Saka, who plays on the right-hand side. Martinelli, who does play on the left, does he replace Martinelli? Does he go through the middle instead? Is he the attacker that they are looking for in front of goal? Where do they put him? I think he would have the same problems he's having at Real Madrid, which is not really finding a natural position for him. Another team he could potentially go for is Manchester City. Of course, Pep Guardiola would relish Rodrygo's intelligence and positional sense. He could play as a right winger, a false nine, or even in midfield. Players like Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, Ilkay Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne have all been able to slot in to Pep Guardiola's system due to their intelligence. Could Rodrygo do the same? Liverpool, of course, are another team who might potentially be looking at someone like Rodrygo. Obviously, we know that Mohamed Salah is not leaving the football club, so that right wing slot might not be the position that he will be able to play in. But again, as mentioned before, he is very versatile in where he can play, and his work rate might be something that Arne Slot would definitely love to have in his team, especially with someone who is very, very intelligent and has got a very good footballing IQ and can, of course, score these important goals. Could that be a team that he could potentially go to as well? And of course, he could just stay at Real Madrid. They are the biggest club in the world. They are one of the top teams in the world at this current moment in time. And they look like a team with a potential new manager coming in, Xabi Alonso, who might be on the up and up. Could that potentially unlock a new Rodrygo who will be a lot happier with his role within the team? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But as mentioned before, let's see what happens with Rodrygo over the summer. Rodrygo is not a backup. He's not a squad player. He's a modern footballer in every sense. Tactically astute, technically sublime, and mentally clutch. If he stays at Madrid, he needs the system and the faith to flourish. If he leaves, any top club willing to build around him could be unlocking one of the most complete forwards of this generation. The spotlight hasn't always found him, but those who've watched closely know Rodrygo doesn't just play in the shadows, he thrives in them.